Today, we are exploring a teaching that I believe is the ultimate antidote to the spiritual burnout so many of us feel. We often find ourselves trapped in a debate. Is spirituality about knowing the truth, or is it about doing the right thing? We see people who are brilliant philosophers but lack basic kindness, and we see people who are incredibly good but seem stuck in a cycle of stress and attachment. In the 20th Sarga of the Mumukshu Vyavahara Prakarana of Yoga Vasishtha, the great sage Vasishtha settles this debate once and for all. He tells the young Prince Rama that spiritual liberation isn't a destination you walk toward on one leg, it's a state you fly toward on two perfectly balanced wings: Jnana, wisdom, and Sadachara, righteous conduct. Vasishtha starts with a call to action that might sound surprising. He says we must forcefully develop our intellect, our prajna. This isn't about collecting facts, it's about sharpening our discernment through the company of the wise and the study of logic. But here's the twist. Vasishtha says the only reason to sharpen the mind is to be able to recognize the qualities of a great soul, a Mahapurusha. He tells us to look at the world like a school. If you see someone who radiates peace, learn that peace. If you see someone with immense self-control, learn that control. The sharpened intellect is the tool we use to download these virtues into our own lives. He then introduces one of the most beautiful analogies in all of Sanatana philosophy: the lake and the lotus. Imagine a clear lake. That is knowledge. And within that lake, beautiful lotuses are blooming. Those are the virtues: tranquility, compassion, and equanimity. Vasishtha says they exist in a symbiotic relationship. The water allows the lotus to grow, but the lotus in turn purifies and beautifies the water. In our lives, it works like this. The more you understand your true nature, the more naturally you become kind and calm. And the more calm you are, the more fertile your mind becomes for even deeper wisdom to sprout. You cannot have one without the other. If the lake dries up, the lotus dies. If the lotuses are ripped out, the lake becomes a barren, empty space. Vasishtha is uncompromising here. He tells Rama, as long as these two are not practiced equally, not even one of them can be perfected. So what does the perfected person look like? Vasishtha describes them as a non-doer who appears as a doer. It's a bit of a riddle, isn't it? He uses the example of a bird trapper. The trapper is singing a beautiful rhythmic song. He's enjoying the music. His heart is light. But at the same time, his hands are moving with perfect skill to catch the bird. This is the goal: to act in the world with flawless precision, to do your job, to take care of your family, to contribute to society, but internally to remain desireless, to know that the I, the ego, isn't running the show. When you reach this state, your actions no longer create the mud of karma. You are acting, but you are free. Finally, Vasishtha leaves us with a message of hope. He talks about the Kataka nut. In ancient times, they'd put the powder of this nut into muddy water and the impurities would simply settle to the bottom, leaving the water crystal clear. He says the teachings of a true master are like that nut. They don't give you a soul. They don't add anything to your consciousness. They just cause the mud of your ignorance to settle. They reveal the pristine clarity that was already there. Vasishtha's promise is that once you see this, once the mind knows what is to be known, the shift is irreversible. The mind merges into that supreme state helplessly, like a river finally hitting the ocean. It can't go back to being a narrow stream ever again. So as you go through your day, ask yourself, how are my wings? Am I feeding my wisdom but neglecting my conduct? Or am I busy doing good while my inner lake is drying up? Find the balance, sharpen the mind, cultivate the heart, and let the two wings carry you home.